And so, yeah, so tonight I wanted to go over Canva, and if you've used it, if you find anything, you're doing anything slightly different, then let's share it between all of us, because I think creating graphic images on Canva and, you know, editing stuff that you are now promoting your business, the more and more I see of you all, that literally everybody on here is doing a 2B Mindset Club. You know, I see you creating your flyers, and it's like, how do you create your brand and then keep it consistent? Now, I'm not an expert in branding or advertising. I've literally fumbled my way through and are coming out the other side now. I still don't get it right all of the time. And sometimes I'll sit there for like an hour and a half like I did this morning, although I still, like, my cold is still here, still not feeling 100%. And I'm just staring at something going, I still don't like it. And so I was being really critical. And at some point you just need to set yourself a timer, and just as soon as it stops, you have to stop, because otherwise you'll just keep playing and playing and playing. For those of you that have probably tried Canva, I'm sure you'll realize it's probably as much of a time hoover as Facebook is. So, like, today I just want to go through some basics with you that I've got, and if anyone else wants to add, I am like more than happy for you to contribute as well, because like I've said, not an expert, just want to guide you in some of the basics to get you started. So if I go to, does everyone have, I'm making like masses of assumptions here as well that everyone has Canva. Do you all have Canva? Yeah, good.
Ish.
You will do. Yes, Debbie?
Well, yes, but I can't remember my login.
That's all right, don't worry. You can just ask for, you can get a new one of those and they'll send it through to you. And so for like people in my team, I'll create templates as well, and I'll send them links. And so it's really easy for them to kind of just edit it then. And that's why Debbie's on here today. I've done one for Leanne, who's not here tonight. And so I'm creating stuff and helping it to kind of create a brand as much as I can. So let me go and share my screen. Let's get into Canva so you can have a little look at what we've got there. Now, this is, I think I'm in the beta test, which is the next level. I don't know whether everyone agreed to do that test when it came out. I think this is like 2.0. There are some slight changes, and if you see things that look slightly different on mine, that will be why it is. So, oh, are you still there? Yeah, okay, so you can see I can go back to Canva 1.0, but I think I'm on 2.0. The challenge with 2.0 I've discovered is that you can't edit from your phone now. So if I've edited it on here and then I go to my phone and I'm like, oh, I want to make a quick edit, I can't do that on my phone yet because it's still in beta testing. So that's some challenges that you might have if you are in 2.0. So the first thing to do when you go into Canva is to see that down here now, they've got a whole new design school, and it's actually really good. I haven't been through all of it, but it really does give you some kind of hints and tips on how to work Canva. And I can tell you everything I learned, I've basically YouTubed because or like just tried stuff, and it was trial, and then it was like, oh, how did I do that? Oh, that's how I did that. And so you are going to do it, but I wanted to save you some time, hopefully, and create something. So this design school here is definitely worth kind of working your way through. It will help you with getting started, how to share, like how to edit text. And they're really short videos, and, you know, we're all about the videos at Beachbody, so it's kind of works in our mind and the way we work. But it also helps you to create like a toolkit, some branding as well. So down here, it's like creating a consistent brand. And this is probably the most important thing for you, is to create, when you find something you like, and I would say consistent, you are going to tweak it quite a bit, I would imagine, at the beginning, but kind of follow through with what Jenna posted, where she said about color palette and what colors go together, and think of some colors that you really love, and then go back into that Facebook group and look at the color palette and say, okay, what does that actually mean? What do those colors say to somebody in marketing? And check that it's not like a, you know, meaning death or funeral or really negativity and angry and all of that stuff. So you're not using those kinds of colors. But once you've picked them, you want to stick with them. And there's a way in which you can do that. So let me go back to Canva here. So what you do is you click on your brand, for those of you that haven't yet done it, and you can create your favorites, basically. And so as you can see here, when I was at Team Beachbody Corporate, I had a very Team Beachbody color brand there. You can see it's all very blues, creams, and whites, which is our brand colors. There was some leadership stuff I did, and I used gold for that. Now for my Fit, Fun and Fabulous, it's still evolving. So it's not, and even the name that I had is gone. I've changed the name 3 times and it's still evolving. But it's like, look for, like, just go and see people that you follow on Instagram and look at the colors and think, I love what they do. And you know what? I'm all about modeling excellence. And if somebody does something really great, don't be afraid to do the same. Don't think you have to be different if it actually fits with you. Just make sure you don't look identical to them. Let me let my dog in that's crying outside. And clearly very wet now. Come on, in. Get in bed. So once you've got it, you can create your brand. So you've got access to your color palette straight away. And like it says here, you get some inspiration. You can click on color palette inspiration, and it will really help you in, you know, what to look for. And it will give you some ideas. And all colors come with like an F code. So there's lots of little digits for the color. So you can see here, like hashtag, and then these numbers here are the color, like everywhere you go. So if you went to a printer and you said, oh, hashtag C5D2DB, that color would be the same at a printer's as it would be here on Canva. So it's a real universal color code, and you're going to need to use those because all the names will be different, but this code here is pretty much the same. And so, you know, use this inspiration that they create for you as well and see if there's something there that you really like. But it really helps to put colors together for you to let you know what kind of matches as you walk through there. So that's and Canva, you know, the reason why Canva was created was because there was a lady, I don't know, I think her story is really inspirational, is that she worked in marketing and she didn't understand why it took somebody like 25 different actions to create like a social card because it was so difficult. And she's like, there's got to be an easier way of doing this. And then that's how Canva was born. And now I think she's sold out to somebody and will be making absolute millions. So fair play to that woman. But this is, you know, when you can solve a problem, that's what you want to do, is find something that solves a problem. So yeah, so once you can also upload your logo. So obviously I had corporate ones, had what I thought was going to be my logo. No, I'm not particularly fussed with that now. This is what will happen. You know, as you evolve and your personality evolves, it's okay for your logo to change. You know, even Danielle and Tony's, I've seen hers evolve as well. And, you know, she's still looking to change stuff now. So, you know, add your logos into here so you've got everything in your brand. Because when you go there, and you can do the same with your fonts. Oh, let me go back there as well. The same with fonts. When you go for, you know, which fonts you want to go with, you can add them here. And then it will always come up as your favorites and your go-to when you go to type anything. It will default to these fonts. Now, obviously, you can always change them, but it will always default to your favorites. Right, so let's go back to all your designs. So everything that you've ever created always gets saved. Now, one top tip I would say is as you are creating it, just make sure, because I've discovered this sometimes, that this little bit up here always says all changes saved. Now, if for any reason your Wi-Fi is not going smoothly or Canva are having a little technical glitch and then you close it down and that didn't say all changes saved, then it's not saved. You don't need to do anything. It will do it automatically. Like the second you change anything, so if I just put, say, an S there, it will say it went straight away to saving changes. But sometimes it, like if there's a glitch, it will stay on saving changes for ages. And if you shut it down at that point, chances are you're going to lose it. So just make sure it does say that there. But it will automatically save everything for you all the time. Now, as you start as well, and obviously this is one of ours, it also gives you different posts. It will create templates for you already, so it gives you the exact sizes, although I have found that cover photos, Facebook covers are not necessarily perfect, so go and check the dimensions because that seems to change on a weekly basis. But pretty much these are accurate on what you want, and you can constantly like slide along and find something, you know, whether you want to do a thank you card, you want to do an email header, you want to do an A4 document, whatever it is. And even your presentations, like now, you know, PowerPoint's like so last year, creating presentations on here is really, really easy as well. And there's a template for everything. And then you can also create your own dimension depending on what it is you want. So if you are creating something unique and you need a specific measurement, then you can do that too. So as you can see, every single document that I've ever saved has been like stored in here for me on all different areas of, and you can see how I kind of evolved in the business from being very corporate at the bottom here to now evolving into like the team stuff. And everything's just saved in a history, which is awesome because you can always go back. And as you know, when I was doing like emerald recognition, I would just click on this. And it makes it so easy because the template, she says, now obviously Wi-Fi's messing up, template's already there. And come on, work with me, Canva. There we go. Oh, look, Alex. So the template was already there, and so I just updated the names every single week. And so I had everyone that was an Emerald coach over the period of time that I was there at corporate, and I just saved them because it was really good for me to go back. So as you're doing that with your team, do the same. And to duplicate, you just do this button here, and it will just copy the one you had before, and then I just change the top. Just one thing to go careful with on that one, though, is that when you go to download, it will literally download every single one and pop them all into a zip folder, versus if you just want that top page, be specific and say that you want that top page. Okay, so right, let's go back to, see, there we go. It has asked me, it's saying changes that you made may not be saved. They're saved though. I'm going to leave. So it said, oh no, it said unsaved. So always double check, but it didn't matter about that one because I don't want to save it. So for example, let's go as if we are looking to create a new design, and I want to create a Facebook post, which is pretty much what everyone's doing. I now have the option of working with a completely blank canvas here, which is here in the exact size that's needed, or I can flip over to a template here. What would anyone like to see? A template or a blank canvas? Right, we can do both. We'll start with both.
Template.
A template. Okay, so let's go with this one. I like the look of that one. That looks, it's cake. I would quite like to eat some cake right now. That looks like really yummy cake too. So yeah, so this is one of the templates. Now, if it's got the logo over it, to remove the logo, you need to pay for it. So if you click on it, it will tell you how much it is. Now, I'm already a premium member on this, but you still have to purchase additional artwork. So be very conscious that when you pick one, it says free. Because you can create this without having to pay that $1. But obviously, it's giving you some inspiration here. Now, it's highlighted this bit here because that is the image. So I can move that image around the second I've typed on it. And if at any point I've moved it around and actually I don't want to move it around anymore, I can just click undo, and it will go back to where it started. So just be conscious that to remove this, which is what you'll always want to do, you will need to pay for it, and it just goes through PayPal. So when you click on the first one, those lines around the outside are the image. Now, if I wanted to delete that image, I just press delete and that one's gone. And then I can put anything in there. But say we want to keep that image, but actually our brand colors, and I'll use the Beachbody brand colors, for example, just to kind of keep it in tune so you all relate to it. And so instantly, as you see here, the TBB branding has arrived and it appears there. So what I've done is I've clicked off of this line here, which is the image. And if you want to see what you're clicking on, you just like slide it side to side. And then I've moved down to below that onto the one under. Now, as long as you see that color cube at the top there, that tells you that you've actually highlighted the color cube there. And so you click on the color cube and it will bring up all the alternatives, or you can add another palette there. And so that's bringing that up for us to be able to change the color. So obviously I've now changed it to Beachbody Blue. And if you want to then change the fonts, this is where you see that this is actually a template that's been set up. And again, you're clicking on it and you need to make sure that that box there has been highlighted. And then what's happened at the top here is that the font panel has arrived. And so it's just understanding that the different places that you click relate to the different areas, and just having the patience to figure out where to click, because sometimes you have to really get it kind of just in the right place for it to pay attention. But you know that this one, because it's got filter, adjust and crop, is your image. This one, because it's got the color, is the color area. And then when you tap on that one, that is literally your type in there as well. And if you want to change anything, you can just go into it and type over the top. And the same underneath, you can just highlight that one and change, say you want to change the font. Now, if you see, my brand fonts are sitting here, so they'll always be at the top. So when you find the ones you want, make sure you add them to your brand, otherwise you'll spend your life literally scrolling, looking for it every time. And so let's just change it to that one, and then I'll change it to my brand font again there. So there we go. So I've now changed the type font and the obviously this color here. Oh my God, I can't get my words out tonight. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to make complete sense. So now let's look at the image. So we want to change the image because actually we don't want to pay for this. So let's delete this one out of here. And what you have the opportunity to do over here on this side is upload your own images. So anything that you've got stored on your computer, you can upload here. And to do that, you just click upload. You go to upload an image up the top there. Now we're going all funny again. Let me find one. It'd be interesting if I'm clicking on my personal photos. Who knows what could appear? Everyone's phone's connected to the same iCloud. Apologies. So I'm going into my photos. Let me check I'm on the right Wi-Fi. Yeah, I am. Okay. So let's go to my dog's bottom. There we go. We'll go for a dog's bottom. So there you go. You got a dog's bottom now. When this little bubble here is sitting, it's still loading. So don't try and do anything with it until it's finished uploading into your Canva folder here. But you'll see that once it's there and that's loaded, it's really easy to move things across. But we just have to wait, obviously. Okay, let's go with this one because this one's there already. So now with this one, obviously the image is not quite big enough, so you can stretch it, you can change the shape of this image, you can move it all across here, but it's still sitting in front of that original block. Now you'll see there what happened was it's coming up with lines across the middle and down the center there, and it lets you know when your picture is perfectly centered. And so look for those as well, because they're really trying to give you some clues on where to put stuff, because there's like the power of threes when you're looking to design something, that you do stuff on like divide it into threes, and then with photographs it's meant to be like, I don't know, probably about there. So look for that, the guides that are there as well to support you. Now the challenge we've got at the moment is that that is sitting in front of the original block here. So to do that, you just click position, and because I've highlighted the blue block currently, I'm just going to ask to bring that forward, and you might need to click it a few times. And what you'll notice as well is actually that the words haven't come forward, so I'm just going to move those back a second, and this is where you have to play around with it and highlight the bit that you actually want to move forward. Let me get that there, backwards and backwards. So now that's gone behind. And so you just play around with it, with moving it forwards and backwards until you figure out how to get that sitting behind. So you saw what I did. So I clicked it, I just moved it down towards it. Now if I click position, forwards, forwards, and if I press it twice, there we go, it's gone to in front of the blue now. And then if I click it again, it will go in front of the writing as well. And there you go. So that's how you move your images around forward and backwards as well. And that for me was driving me insane to start off with, because I couldn't figure out how to get stuff moved around. So yeah, so there you go. Have you got any questions on that bit there? Is it like, have you all been doing this already? Am I teaching you all how to stuck eggs?
No.
Hey?
No, I just don't get it. I'll have to learn it properly.
Well, I'm recording this, Debbie, so you can watch it over and over again. So let's start. So obviously that was a template. So let's go with one that we want to do from scratch. So we'll go for social media again. and now it's a blank canvas. And so what do we want to put in there? And say we want to create, I don't know, a 2B Mindset launch party. You're going to launch 2B Mindset info launch or whatever. So you kind of think about what your brand colors are and what you want it to look like, but also what you want to say. And you would have already have uploaded some images that relate to 2B Mindset. Now, obviously, being very conscious that, and I'm still hugely passionate about not putting 2B on there as well. Like I've got on a few of my things, I've got 2B Mindset, and I'm slowly moving them off now because I'm seeing people do the same with 2B Mindset as we did with Beachbody when everyone first launched. And so just be conscious. You don't want people to just Google 2B Mindset. You would like them to come to you. So create a little bit of curiosity about it. So when you've got something like this, for example, and you want to do a poster with 2B Mindset, and we love this comment here because it's all about lose weight without dieting. Who wouldn't want to do that? So you've got that as like your base template, but obviously it says you're a 2B Mindset mentor. So that will create some kind of curiosity for people. And they'll be like, oh, what's that then? So how can you get rid of that? So let's go to, let me show you here. So I've now got another image that I've popped over the top, but I don't want all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this top one, and I'm going to crop it so I take out the 2B Mindset part. Then once you've got it as much as you want in the center, you click done. Now what you can see is you've no longer got 2B Mindset Mentor at the bottom. Now you can make it small or make it big enough to cover a logo, and it's all still in company branding. All right. So that for me was like, once I figured out how to crop stuff, that's like, oh, I can get rid of all of these logos and things off of everything. Like Alana, I love her to bits, but she still puts all Alana Molstein over everything. And I'm like, I just want to get rid of that. I don't want people to go directly back there. So that was just another one of these images I clicked on. As soon as you click it there, it will appear over here. I've probably clicked 2 now. As soon as you click it over here, it will appear over here. You click on that image. So this one here is the one that you're actually highlighting right now. Click crop, and then just move the little banner until you're happy with that specific part that you want to share. Now it's all still there at the moment. So until you click done, it's all there. And then when you click done, ta-da, it's disappeared, it's gone. And then you can just make that as big or as small as you want it to go. Any questions on that one? Is it helpful? Yeah? Okay, so now let's say I want to put some text in there. I want to write something on here as well. So now you're going to add text, which is over here. Obviously my branding has come up the top here. All of this now needs to change because I need to get the same type font as this one, but I'll do that later. Don't worry about that. So add a heading, and it gives you a basic placeholder, and you can type anything in here. And it will automatically do it in black in your type font that you've done at the top there. Now, if you want to change this, again, the text boxes at the top has come up. So just know that if it's not showing at the top, you're not clicked on to your text box. If you're seeing the filter adjust and crop, you're obviously clicked onto a photo. If you're seeing this, there's somewhere where you can put some color. And if you're seeing the text box, that's where you can make adjustments to your text at the, that you're about to write. And you can write anything in there, and you can make it bigger or smaller. But know that when you go to click on it and you can move it around by holding the key down and just sliding it, it will, again, it's giving you a template around. So that pink line is showing you like some good border sizes. It's showing you like where the right half of the screen is, where the left half of the screen is, where center is, where smack bang in the middle is. If I get it there we go. And so it's really trying to help you to align stuff. And so pay attention to that because it does it for a reason. And if you've got like flyers that you've created and they're all over the place, it is really hard for people to read. And what you want to do is try and get some consistent type fonts as well. So using this one would not work with this logo just here. Probably, hold on, let me get rid of that. Probably changing that to the Grape Vibes would be better. And I know that there's another one actually that works better. But just know when you change the type font, you need to move the box as well because it's a different size. And that's how you can put type fonts in there. Now, they've also got some templates for you that they've already chosen that look really good. So really, when you're choosing your type font, go through here and see if any jump out at you, because then you can just take the names of the type font and save it in your favorites as well. So have a little look there and see what they've got that you can go, actually, I really like that style. I'm going to stick with that. So let me just get rid of these here. And you just click on them and delete, or you need to make sure you get your little square, delete, that one, delete. And if I say, for example, put this one in here. Now, these are great if you want to stick with this size. If for any reason you start fluffing around with the size now, it gets a little bit tricky, and that's what it goes like. And you can't actually make it wider. So just know that once you've got this, you're kind of stuck with it. You can make it smaller, but you can't make it wider. It won't go wide. There's no little extra bit to pull it out there. It's basically saying, this is what you've got, you're stuck with it. However, what you can do is the second you click on it, it will tell you what the type font is, and you can just make a note of that, what the type font is for that one, and then do it separately. Because I've always, like, this has always frustrated me because I'm like, oh, I just need a little bit bigger. And it's like, oh, I've got to go and do it all separately now because it won't let me do it here. But you can get some ideas on way of like laying stuff out. So these are, you know, top marketers that are putting type fonts together to say these two go well together. So kind of listen to them because they know what they're talking about. Right, let me delete that as well. Actually, I'll leave that there. Now over, I'll give you some like other things that you've got over here as well. So you've got background. Again, look for the free. This is talking about this white box right now. So obviously you can change that to any color that you want to here. And by just clicking on the box with all the colors here, and you can change it to any color. But say you wanted, I don't know, for it to look like an ocean. So you would just go over to your background here, but you need to be clicked onto, not this bit, but this bit. So it's showing the color block. And so it knows that that's the bit that you want to edit, and then just click the ocean. And so now you've got the ocean sitting there as a background. Again, if it doesn't say free, you are going to have to pay for it. Now, something else that's kind of cool with this is that you can change the color. So obviously it automatically gives you a blue one, but you can add some pink tones to it. It doesn't change it dramatically, but it will change it slightly. It will give the tone that works with whichever of your brands is, so it kind of ties in with your brand. So you can do that as well with your backgrounds. Now you can make your backgrounds big, you can make them small, however you want to do it. You can play around with your backgrounds, and obviously there's all the filters that you have there as well, like we would have on our phones too. Just be aware, as we've always said, is that if you use a filter, just stick with the same filter, because otherwise it looks really like tacky if you keep jumping around. And the whole idea is to create a brand identity. You can again get really fancy and start adjusting everything in here too, depending on, you know, if you're into photography and stuff, you'll get all of this side of it. It's the same sort of thing as you would be doing on a camera. But there's loads that you can do with, you know, just one of the templates that are over here. Any questions on that? No. Okay. So the next thing you've got, so we've done templates where they give you ideas and inspiration. And even if, you know, sometimes I'll look at these and I'll go, okay, well, I'm not going to use that template, but I'm going to create something that looks like that. And so, you know, get some inspiration from some of these things, and you'll see some of the, you know, some of the templates that are over here will probably be some of the social media posts that I've put out for Team Beachbody, because it's just like, you know, if they're going to create something, use it and just make it your own brand color. Okay, so elements. Now this is where you can find images. So like you can go and get stock images for different things. This is where you can find this. And like it says, there's millions of images. Now, again, you have the option to purchase these, or you can click free only. So let us look for, I don't know, let's go fish. There's a bit of a fish theme going on here. Maybe it doesn't like fish today. I've said fish, not fashion. And so click that in there, and what happens here underneath is a ton of fish appear for you. And you can decide. So at the moment I've just got all. You can go for photos, which are obviously photos. How that's a photo, I'm not quite sure. But these are like the photo side of it, or you can go for graphics. So it's still looking for fish. But again, look out for the ones that aren't free, because you will have to pay for them. What happens when you click on them, if we go down and find some, you'll see that there's loads that are free. See, someone's asked that chat. Where's that gone? I can't see the chat. Someone got a question? That's not coming up. If you've got something to say, just pipe up. I don't mind. Is it you, Laura?
No, Shazza was just asking about adding a circle and being able to type in it. So I was just saying that there are shapes within the elements section.
Yeah, I'll go over that one. Yeah, so I'll do this bit first. You're ahead of the game there, look. Like, obviously, these are all free fish. But just when you click on it, it'll tell you. And then if you've done it and you haven't noticed, and you go to download it, it will tell you that you've got to pay for it. Again, with this, you just click on it and it appears in your little picture. You can twist it around by the little arrows at the bottom there. And you've now got an Astrid Smith fish. Okay, so we'll pop that there. Okay, so whatever you want to find, there is a graphic for it here. And it's so funny because you'll see some of the images that some of the top coaches using are in here. And you'll say, oh, that's where they've got that from. You think it's their laptop, and it's not. It's like literally they've taken a stock image from, you know, like this one I've seen in places. There's a few. You'll say, oh, that's where it's from. And you'll see that that's where they get it from. And there's lots of other different places you can get stock images from, but this is just a really great place for you to start. Okay, so also in Elements, so that was your photos. You have something called grids. And I've clicked on grids already. And what grids does, and if I add a new page here to show you on a blank one, is and you can click all, and it will give you all of the options for grids. So when you're doing like before and after photos, or you want to do, I don't know, like a Facebook cover photo, but you want like different blocks of your cover, this is where you will do it. And obviously we've gone for social media, so it's given us all of the squares. If this one was a social media cover photo, it would show you all the ones that would fit into there. And so you just literally click like that, and it's now giving you 3 different options for you to upload, say, images to, and it will automatically pop them in there for you when you slide over it. Obviously, that one doesn't fit properly, so we're going to just crop, move her over a little bit. It's quite a big image and quite a full-on face one, so we're not going to be able to crop her too much, but we'll just shove her in there like that. Poor old Claire and Ashley. And then you've got that one going up in the top. Oh yeah, it will do it. If you don't move it to the right place quick enough, it will jump into whichever space you put it over. So just be conscious of that. So let's get around it. Put it over there. There we go. And so you've now created a grid, and you've got all different kinds of shapes, etc., that you can do there. And obviously you can put text into all of these too. But it's divided your one square into different sections. So creating like your before and afters and, you know, different images is really good there as well. And you've got so many to choose from. There are loads of them in there of all different styles, and you'll see them, you know, appear across social. You're like, oh, that's what that is. So there you go. There's all your grids there. The next bit I want to show you, move me out of the way, get across, is shapes. So if I click all again, the shapes are pretty cool. So you can obviously just add a shape over here, like so, and you can change the color of it. So as long as you've got a color box up there, remember, if it's that pink, you're changing this color. If it's that white, then you're changing the shape there. You've now got shapes. Let me show you something you can do with shapes. If this is, no, it's not, that's frames. Oh, it's because it's a circle, I've gone instantly. So yeah, so if you need a shape for anything, and if you ever need a view of something, get it to the right size. So like stars, people like to use stars a lot. Like get it to the size that you want to get it to, then click just on the square outside it and like copy and paste it, and it will, or just press copy and it copies the same one. And so you've now got a ton of shapes exactly the same size. So if you need stars all over your picture, then you can just do it that way. or if that's part of your design, obviously you've got them the same size. And there's all kinds of shapes in there for you to use, and ideas and inspirations. And then obviously you can change whatever colour you want them to be, that suits your branding too. And so it's always really good to, you know, scroll right down in here to which, you know, what they've got available, so you get to see all the different ones that you can use in there. Okay, back to the other side we've got here. Charts. Again, it's like, this is like my best friend, in so much as I hate doing Excel spreadsheets, and now you literally, it creates it for you. You just put all the numbers in over here, and you've now got a fancy bar chart that you can brand in your own colours. So when I talk about putting presentations together, you know, you can do everything in this, in Canva. And there's all different types of bar charts. So if you're doing like a weight loss tracker in your To Be Mindset one, this is where you do it, and you keep your branding the same the whole way along. And so you can just do a line chart. But this is probably quite technical for, you know, what you want to use it for, but just know that it's there and it's really, really easy for you. And obviously, look, there's tons of charts and things there for you to use. Illustrations pretty much says what it is on the bag. Icons, again, like just go and explore it. There's tons of stuff in there. Majority are free, but obviously you can go and spend some money on stuff as well. And then you get to lines, where you can just put lines into your image, and frames. Now I see so many people trying to get pictures like looking the same when they're doing recognition, and then they're not the same because somebody sent you I don't know, one size shot, and another person sent another size shot. And so this is where you can like really help yourself here in getting stuff looking the same. And so again, you click on it, click copy, it gives you one exactly the same. Click copy again, you've got 3 now at the same size. Get them lined up. And when you go to images, there's 1, there's 2, and actually in there, there's 3. And so now you've got them all the same size, and it just looks tidier. And there's all different shapes and sizes and ideas and inspiration for you. So obviously you make everybody in a star. You can put them in looking like they're in a mirror. You know, there's like a round thing. There are some other frames as well, but they're not coming up on this particular post. But sometimes there's like a picture frame. There's like a mobile phone you can stick them into as well. So there's lots of stuff for you to play with there. Did that answer your question on, or have I got to that bit, the bit you wanted? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's how you get them all looking the same. And then you go back to away from frames. And again, remember, you can always crop as well. So I can move me up and down to make sure I'm in the right spot in that frame. So if my head's being chopped off, I can just move it. So if I crop Annabelle, oh, it's not going to let me because her image isn't big enough, but I can make it smaller or bigger. I can make it bigger and just put a whole head in there and click there. And then actually I need to make me bigger then, so my head's big. Oh no, I've done the wrong thing. Done the wrong thing. So we just click undo, undo again until I've gone back to the same size. And then click crop. And then I want to make me bigger. And then click done. Ta-da. That's how you do that, playing around with everyone's heads. And again, there's just like nature, people, images, loads of things in this side here for you to play with that you can just add into your graphic here and move around as you want it. And obviously if you slide it over, it will appear in any of your little frames, and that's how you get it into a circle. Any questions on that one? No, is it helpful? Is Karen awake still? I can't see her, she's laying down. You are, I see your head's popped up. I hear you again. Still can't hear you. We need to get James to teach you sign language. There, so that's how you do your social cards, and just having to play around with them and making sure that your branding, so obviously this looks horrendous. But some of the ones that I've done, just to show you, so my To Be Mindset one, I've tried to keep it on brand as much as possible, but obviously I've hidden the to be mindset, so we've got that hidden underneath there, look, with a little image. And I've gone for the same colours. Now, I don't know what these colours are because nobody's told me, although I'm sure if I asked, they'd actually be, you know, get them to me. So what I would do in that situation is just slide the text box up, click on it, then click on the text colour and say I want to add a new colour. Now, this is really unfortunate because that's gone right over the top of it, because normally it's like we can get it over to the other side. So the bit I'm trying to get to is that you click on it. Oh, it's done it again. Okay, sometimes if I move that image down there and that down there, now you'll be able to do it. Right, okay. So click on new colour, and if I want that colour to be the same, I just keep playing around with it until it looks like it's going to match. And then I can make a note of this number there, and I know, right, that is to be mindset orange, that is ED8C51. If I don't know the number, just go and like match it up. It's like going into B&Q and then figuring out what colour paint pot you've got. And so it's finding the colour that matches the best. And you will have to play around with it. I have pretty good eyesight to spot it. Once you've got it, it's like just click off of it. You've now got it. Line everything back up again, and you're now matching the same colours that you want to keep for your brand. Now, this was a flyer that we've created for our weight loss clubs that we're launching. And it's a two-sided flyer. So you've got the front and back. Now, I used a template, but just a blank template. And I literally deleted everything was off of there. And I've just got page 1, page 2. And so I've kept them as much as I can the same, but I've deleted everything that says to be mindset. And you'll see that when I move that down there and I move that color block from there, look, ta-da! So all I've done is I've created like a color block up here, got the same color pretty much, hidden it, and then put my type font over the top, because I don't want their stuff. I don't want their branding. I want to try and get it as close to their type font so it doesn't look like I've done anything spectacular, like that I'm making a massive change, but I've deleted out everything that would lead to what the product is so that I'm the one in control of it. And keeping it all in theme and not messy and like very simple. Does that make sense? Actually, really, once you start playing with this, and so for this, it was literally me creating a element. So I went into the elements and I want a shape. So to get that shape there, I needed a square of some sort. So I just clicked square. I went like that. I went like that. Moved it up there. And then I just changed the colour to the blue. Not that blue, that blue. Ta-da, it's gone. It's that easy to do. And then you just put text, insert text, move it. It'll always appear somewhere in your screen, and then just typed over the top with whatever was written underneath, but without the to be mindset. And it's just, once you know how to do stuff, it's like so easy, and you can just play around with all of the existing artwork that Beachbody have got and deleting off stuff that you don't want on there, so that you get it to your brand. It is about it being you and not them. And it's so hard because obviously I've come from being company. It's like, okay, now I need to delete all this company stuff. I have been the company and now I'm not the company. Right, any questions? Debbie, I know you're probably going to have loads, and don't worry, we'll carry on doing stuff as you want to do it, and I'll help you with yours while we're getting you set up. Is there anything you want to know? Shazza, you can unmute yourself and just ask. It's okay. Laura, have you found anything in Canva that I've not said?
No, I don't think so, really. I think you've covered pretty much all the bits that I would.
My question's about like printing. So is everyone going to be like printing at home, or if you say you were going to take it to a printer, how do you then take it to a printer, or what's everyone planning to do?
Yeah, so I'm going to, with these, it'd be lovely to have really glossy ones, but not when I'm talking about a launch club. So for me, the ones I would take to a printer, I would definitely be the ones that you're going to kind of stick with forever. Initially, print them at home. Get A5, like if you've got a printer, like I've got a really good printer, you can get them really cheap. Like just shop around, and it's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to buy ink cartridges if you get them from the right places. I cannot tell you how, like, because we work from home, both me and my other half, we go through printers every 2 weeks. And so he buys like a container full of printers, because it's like £350 to change the ink cartridges and £79 for the printer with the cartridges. You're like, it's a no-brainer. So just shop around. Don't think, like, honestly, sometimes it's easy to just get rid of a printer and start again, and just shop around. So the first lot I will definitely print at home. You know, it's like you're going to be using these on social media. So it'll be the same flyer on social media that you'll be using in your print copy. And when you look at what people do with print copies nowadays, it typically goes in the bin. The thing I would invest in is probably a business card. But flyers, just get them printed off of a printer, take them to Office World. You have got the option on here to print your flyers. I have seen business cards by Canva and they look really nice. They're not quite the quality of Moo, but Moo are quite expensive. But then these are quite expensive as well. And so matte finish with 50 copies is like $32.50. I think it takes, well, it says 7 days. I'm probably going to test it just to see how long it will take, but it is quite expensive. But you obviously...
What about Vistaprint?
Yeah, so Vistaprint, now it's a whole different ballgame. So if you want to do Vistaprint, you can just download this and it will give you the crop marks and the bleed as well if you need that for your printer. And you want to go for the high quality PDF print recommended, and then you can download that and that will download straight to your computer. So when you go to Vistaprint, you should be able to just upload it as a pre-made design already. Now sometimes, and I don't know whether they've just changed it with the quality of the PDF, that the PDF has not come through as good a quality as needed for a printer. So if you're going to a print shop, like a proper one, and that's what happened with my banners. I was due to get banners made and I designed them on here, sent them over as the PDF on here, and the guy that I was working with for the banners, because there were such big banners, the print quality wasn't good enough. So he took the design and he's currently having to now create the design again, because it wasn't big enough, because they're not made for massive banners. So just be conscious of that. But with flyers and stuff, it shouldn't be a problem. And so for me now, that one should have just downloaded here as a PDF. There you go, with the bleed copy there as well, which is what printers will look for, so that they know where the edge of the paper is. And then you can just send the PDF to them or take it on a little cardy thing.
And just for education purposes, what does bleed copy mean?
So these bit here, these bleed lines, it kind of gives a little bit of excess for printing companies, because sometimes they get because so they don't want to cut stuff off, they have like paper that's slightly bigger and then they do the bleed and then they'll just slice the paper, and it's just printers will use these little lines. They're like just a guide for them as to where the edges are. It's all quite technical and printers know exactly what that is and they'll deal with it. Vistaprint probably don't need it. So you can always miss that off. So I don't know what you saw when you're downloading, you get the option with it or not. Crop marks and bleed, you can take it or leave it. So you can leave it behind. Okay?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Not about Canva.
That's all right.
But about the like the posters for the TV clubs. Is it, because obviously you're on this one, you've got Alana on it as opposed to like you, whereas I've seen lots of other people, like Alex has got herself on the posters, and I think there's been a couple of other people in the group as well that have got pictures themselves.
Yeah.
Is that, what do you think is better, or is it, have you got both going on?
I've got both going on, so I've got this one as well. And I'm probably going to go with, this is, has everyone seen these ones? For 2B Mindset, have you done 2B Mindset? Okay. So this is if you sign up to Protein for 2B Mindset. There's a whole another folder of marketing materials in there. And these are some of the images that are in there. And so if I go to my uploads, you'll see some others. I don't know whether, probably all of these are in the extra marketing things. If you passed the test on like the first 3 days, or like early days, all of these were originally there, and then they took them off and put them into Protein. So if you didn't do it in the first time and downloaded it all at the beginning, you have to get into Protein. But there are actually more in Protein now than there was right at the beginning. So So yeah, so I'm kind of using some of their branding. I want to keep it professional, and because I'm creating these for everyone in the team, it's some kind of uniform. You know, people are going to get to know them as well. It just keeps it a little bit more, I don't know, professional in some ways. Would I use Alana? I'm probably going to go with this one first, just because it's got a bit of humour in it, and obviously it's got the before and afters as well. But if you look at Slimming World, like just go and look at what the competitors are doing, and they're always talking about like the founder, even though, you know, she's like pretty soon down the line, you forget about the founder and it's all about the lady that's running the club. They'll still talk about the founder. And so, you know, they are going to get to meet Alana when they do the videos, and nobody knows, in all fairness, that that's not me. It's like, you know, they don't know that until they see me. They're going to be really disappointed when I turn up. It's like, I haven't got the big white teeth. But, you know, you can have a conversation about that. Did you think that was going to be me, kind of thing? And so just be conscious of that. I might even block out her name, so it's like a generic kind of image, because you can do that. So like to block out her name, if you remember, I did that. I'd zoom in to start off with, so I've got it as big enough size. Then I go over to my elements. I want a shape, so I'm going to go a little bit square. And I'm just going to literally put a square over it and get it the same color. And so sometimes patience is not my friend. And so, but you just put it there. Might be a little bit more challenging because obviously you've got more words there, but now you're just looking to match that same color and just, you know, get rid of it. Like, you don't need it there. Honestly, we don't need to hear about it, Alana. That kind of thing. Obviously, if I had more patience, I'd get rid of it, and it would be gone. So her name's not on there, but it's just like a stock image of a woman eating some vegetables, as far as they know. And then you can later on tell them that actually this is the creator of the program, because they're going to meet her in the videos. But yeah, I'd probably do that just to keep a brand. For me, obviously, I've still got a little bit of corporate running through me, but I just want to keep a bit of a brand going and a theme going, just to keep it simple and clean. You know, Beachbody spend fortunes on this kind of marketing material, and so if you can make the most of it, do. But just remember to cover up like the Tubi Mindset stuff. Anything that's got the logo, get creative in the way in which you're getting rid of that. And you can obviously change the background. If your branding's different colours, you can change it to whatever colour you want. At the back there, that looks really nice. Yeah, no, it doesn't. And don't be afraid to ask others for opinions as well, because that's like, they'll give you feedback. I love the fact that you're all doing that in your groups, in my group as well, because you feel safe to do that. That's like, just do it. Just put it out there. Like, you know, people will give you feedback. It makes a massive difference. It's a bit like The Apprentice, you know, but take the feedback. Don't just get the feedback and then ignore it. Take it and do something with it.
Can I ask a really random question? It's not about Canva. So, right, because I'm an eating psychology coach now, like I'm qualified, and my Instagram, the following is growing, but what's in my mind is, like, I can't call my, like, coaching business what my Instagram name is. So I keep thinking to myself, should I be branching off and making a page just for my, like, it's going to be called like All About You or something like that, whatever I get my name to be? Yeah. Should I start now going, right, I need to think about, you know, it's just, I'm thinking, right, I've got nearly 1,000 followers under Shazza Reformed Chocoholic, but that's not what my business is going to be called.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm a bit conflicted. So now I'm like, do I start just having a page that's going to be called All About You and have to build it all up, or do I just change the name of my page that's existing at the minute?
I mean, you are a reformed chocoholic.
I am, yeah.
You know,
I used to be called the Reformed Chocoholic, and then I took that off it and I put Shazza. Yeah. And you know, it is tricky because it's like, I've changed my team name already and I'm going again with it. You know, it's like it's always evolving.
and you want to find something you're going to stick with and just run with it. And you are now, it's looking at your business. Like I'm speaking to people all the time about what they're really focusing on and what your end goal is. What do you want to be at the end of it? And, you know, you can just change Reformed Chocoholic. That can get changed. I know I've changed my name on Instagram a few times. So you can do that and change it over, and then somewhere in there put formerly Reformed Chocoholic or something. So there's still the link there, and using it as a hashtag. But yeah, I think look at where your end goal is, what your big picture is as to what you want to do, and then start funneling everything towards that one. Because you can have multiple pages and accounts, but you just don't want to make more work for yourself.
Yeah, I get that. You want to minimize the work because it's hard enough as it is, you know, like making sure you,
So why would you not, you know, even if you're an eating psychologist, a food psychologist or whatever it is, you know, why would you not still use Reformed Chocoholic?
Yeah, and I did ask a while ago, and people actually like the name, you know. I mean, you get people called like the body coach.
Exactly.
So it's like, I could change it back to being the Reformed Chocoholic.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know, because there's more to you, and it's like sharing the fact that this is your journey and it is all still part of your journey. Has anyone else got any thoughts on it?
I wouldn't see it as a negative if I saw it.
You would? No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. And then just be clear as to what you do, you know, and put in there about, you know, the eating psychologist.
Well, that's what I've got in my bio. You know, I changed it recently to say certified mind body eating coach, nutritionist, you know, so at least they can see under that it's not just a personal, you know, I've got a lot of work to do. I mean, I was looking last night in our course content. There's a lot of stuff about marketing and stuff like that. So once I've gone back through and digested it, I'm quite willing to, like, I can't share the slides, but I can maybe like put it into my own words and share it with the group.
That'd be amazing.
So that's something I'll do in the future. You know.
You look after your own business first.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah, we take that. Anyone else want to add anything or done anything with Canva that I haven't shown you, or any questions? No? Was there anything new there, or did you know all of this already?
No, I mean, that is really, really good. I've really enjoyed this tonight. I mean, I do quite a lot on Pick, Play, Post, but this is a lot better. And this is like, wow, I really love this. Because I was always like a PowerPoint person for creating, you know, and it's quite similar the way when you go and you grab the images and stuff. But this Canva thing is just outstanding. I can't wait to go and have a play with it and just...
Yeah, for PowerPoints as well. So if I can find a presentation I've done in here. Have a look. There's got to be one here somewhere. Oh, and like your thumbnails for YouTube videos and stuff. I create all of them here as well. So if you create a YouTube video and you can pick a thumbnail from the video, just create a branding. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all of my YouTube videos now will have a thumbnail like this on different she says with all of them. No, actually it's not, it's just all of them. It's just one of them. So it will have like a thumbnail like this. So it's all consistent too. So, you know, you can do anything on here, but I'm just looking for a quick presentation just to show you. I love it now for presentations. It's like so easy to do. Oh yeah, there we go. The Show Me the Money one that I did for the compensation plan training. Just did it all on Canva, all on here. And it just, obviously this is quite a basic one, but you can create all kinds of stuff coming into here, and just download it as a PDF. You can put images in, crop them, you know, take photos of stuff. Obviously the same way as you would with Instagram, you can just duplicate that one and then add something else to it. And so for me, I love this because it's so simple. That was one I did in Fit and Funky's team. Again, with just creating your branding and stuff, and it just automatically saves it. You know, it's all there. It's online, wherever you are in the world, whatever computer you go on, you log into Canva and it's there. It's genius. And then obviously there's tons of templates for presentations as well that you can just take and use. Anything else? Oh, if you've got a team as well, you can start adding your team members as well. And then if you want to pay for them to have access for it, and then they get access and you can share different branding and stuff as well. So that's, you know, as your team grows, that might be something you'll want to do when you're like later on. And then anything that was shared with you will get shown into your little folder there as well with things that were shared with you.
Oh, just one last quick question, if you don't mind. Sorry.
Sorry.
So, like, say you'd created like posters.
Yeah.
You probably said this, but I've just missed it. Can you have like folders like you have on your PC desktop? So could you have a folder that said, "This is my posters. This is my..."
Yeah. So over here, look, you've got add a new folder. Like, this is me, just in the way my brain works, like everything's just chucked in there and then I spend ages looking for it. In all fairness, what I should be doing is creating folders for like Team 2B group. Yeah. And then you've got
perfect.
a new folder.
Thank you.
And then you can just drag your designs over there. So if I go back to my designs now, and if I go to these ones, which are obviously my, she says, wanting to drag them over, and they're now not going. I will find a way. You do just drag it over and it's not going over there. So yeah, so then you can just drag them all over into your folder. So you've got a selection of everything that's grouped together. But it will whichever one was the last one you opened, it'll always go to. So the older they are, the lower down the list they'll be. Right? Anything else? No.
This has been amazing. So just thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know I've had a few people in my team, although they couldn't get on the call tonight, they've all gone about Canva, and I've gone, I'll do a video training tonight. They're all like, we can't do it. I'm like, great. So, but I know, I just know how much I pulled my hair out with this at the beginning, trying to get it, just figuring stuff out. And if I can just show, because visually, I'm a real visual learner, and the majority of people actually learn visually. And I think it's sometimes if you can just be shown, it like cuts out like 5 hours of trying to figure stuff out. And so, yeah, that was what this was about, really, just to show you like the basics, because you'll figure it out. We were never taught how to use Facebook. We've all figured it out. But some things like this is like, it's a little bit tricky because there's different things that you can do on there as well. So, all right, well, I'm glad that's been of use. I'm going to start recording, so if you're watching this on replay, it's going to be, obviously it's on YouTube, so it'll be there. And if you've got any questions, come back to me and let me know. I stop sharing and stop recording.